After 15 years of being a therapist, a coach, and an international speaker, one of the biggest things that prevents people from being really happy, feeling good about themselves, and really liking their lives is caring too much. More specifically, caring about the wrong things instead of caring about, let's call them, the right things. But sometimes we don't know. Most people don't know, what should I not be caring about so much? And going into this next year, let's talk about 5 of those big ones that people often unknowingly care about too much. And when we learn to care about these things less, it actually makes us happier, feel more fulfilled, feel more present and connected to ourselves, to our lives, and even have way better relationships. Because when you stay stuck caring about the wrong things, it's not only exhausting, but it's preventing you from being happy, at peace, and truly fulfilled. The first one that we're going to look into is to stop caring so much about other people's opinions. I know this one very firsthand because I remember when I first started bringing my work online, started teaching people how to heal and grow and thrive from the inside. All of the people who were teaching you how to bring your work online, how to build an audience, how to connect with people, said that you can only really focus on 3 different topics. The 3 S's: success, skinny, and sex. And those are the only 3 things that people really care about. They care about making money, they care about what their body looks like, and they care about having better relationships. Anything other than that, nobody's really going to be drawn to. And I remember thinking to myself, well, maybe. But I think there might be a few other people other than myself out there who actually want to work on themselves from the inside out, who understand and really know that happiness doesn't come mostly from these outside things. It mostly comes from the inside things. And if I had listened to them and focused on one of those topics, it may have worked. I may have been successful, but it wouldn't have been in alignment with the things that really matter to me, that I think about, that I care about, that I want to share and talk about. And look, there are a few others of you out here that also do care about those things. And if I had listened to those opinions, we wouldn't be here doing this together today. When you care about or listen too much to other people's negative opinions, you're not only saying no to that one thing, you're saying no to everything else that comes with and after that one thing. The moment you stop caring so much about other people's negative opinions that are holding you back is the moment you start feeling free to blaze your own path in life, in any area of your life, in your relationships, with your job, with your own personal journey. That's when you give yourself the freedom to blaze your own path. Now, before I go on to the next one, I want to talk to you about something really important. After working with thousands of people feeling stuck in their lives and unable to move forward and not really knowing how to get where they want to go, I'm hosting a Future Me Blueprint workshop. In this workshop, you are going to get the blueprint and the steps necessary to create that future version of yourself. That version of yourself that has better relationships, that feels better about yourself, that has realized or reached those specific goals in your personal life, in your work life, in your family life. Whatever that future you is waiting for you to create, to change, to heal, to grow, you are going to learn exactly that in this workshop. 90 minutes to create your future self and then get the steps necessary, the doable, repeatable steps necessary to get there. You're not just going to have the goal clear, you're going to have the path laid out step by step for you. So make sure you register for that. The link for that is in the description below. The next thing to let go of in 2025 is comparing yourself to other people's journey. You've heard this one before. Stop comparing yourself to others, because not only does it make you feel bad about yourself and is not doing you any favors by looking at what someone else has or looks like or does, and then comparing it to what you don't have or look like or haven't done, but it also skews your focus from what's actually important to you. Think about it this way. Let's imagine two sprinters at the start line, Sprinter A and Sprinter B, and they both take off on their run. Now, Sprinter A is focused on the finish line. They're focused on their goal. They are focused on what's in front of them, what is important to them, and they keep themselves focused on that the entire time. But Sprinter B is running beside them and constantly kind of looking over and seeing how fast they're going and how they are measuring up to how fast that Sprinter A is going. And they're spending all this time getting distracted by what Sprinter A is doing, that they're not focused on what they're doing and where they're going. And Sprinter A ends up winning every single time. Now, life is not a race, but it is a journey. And when you're getting so distracted with somebody else's journey, you're not focusing on creating your own outcomes, on building your own self, your own future, what you want. You're not focusing on the things that are important to you because you're getting so caught up in looking at what's important to someone else. So decide what is important to you and focus on that, and let yourself be on your own journey. I remember I used to do this so much when I was first building my own business and looking at what other people were doing and comparing my results to other people's results and seeing what was working for other people, things that weren't working for me. And not only did it distract me from getting focused on what I needed to do, but it also made me feel terrible about myself, and it made me doubt myself, and it made me question myself. And I spent so much of my mental and emotional energy feeling bad about myself instead of using my mental and emotional energy to move forward, to learn, to grow, to focus, to build. So whatever it is that's important to you, take that energy that you've been spending looking at everybody else and focus it on looking at yourself and what you want and what you need to do to get there. The next thing we're going to let go of in 2025 is trying to be someone else. If you were supposed to be someone else, you would be them. But you are supposed to be you, because that is who you are. So instead of trying to be someone else, work on being more of who you are. More of who you are outside of the pleasing, perfecting, performing. More of who you are outside of the masks, the triggers, the insecurities, the worries. Work on being more of your authentic self by shedding off the things that are preventing you from being that. Who are you outside of your defenses, your fears, or your masks? Look deeper into you and be more of that. Because when you think about it, all of the things that you are doing to try to become someone else is time that you could be spending on healing and working through the things that are preventing you from showing up as your authentic self. Looking at the things that you might not love about yourself. Maybe you want to be more patient. Maybe you want to be more generous. Maybe you want to work on taking things less personally. Maybe you want to stop being the person who keeps score. Maybe you want to work on being less passive aggressive. Maybe you want to work on not getting easily offended. Maybe you want to work on becoming more confident and sure of who you are and letting go of the things that are preventing that. Work on those things, becoming more of your authentic self, the self that isn't caught, like I said, in those defenses, in those fears, and in those masks. And that is the only person that you need to be focused on becoming more of. But speaking of this, the next thing we're going to get rid of in 2025 is trying to get it all right. First of all, you can't, because none of us can. And second of all, you won't, because that's not how it works to be human. We are going to make mistakes. We are going to have setbacks. We are going to get triggered. We are going to totally blow it sometimes. But we are not going to beat ourselves up, shame, and reject ourselves for being imperfect. We are going to forgive ourselves. We are going to reflect on what happened. We are going to learn from our setbacks or mistakes, and we are going to try again. And we are going to give ourselves a whole lot of self-compassion along the way, because being a human being and having a human brain and going through everything that we have all gone through from the beginning of our lives till now is not easy. Navigating being human is not easy for anyone, and no one rides for free. So we are going to let go of trying to get it all right, and we are going to work on letting good enough be good enough. I used to think that I had to be like this perfect parent, that I had to be all loving and all patient and never get overwhelmed or never get annoyed with my kids for constantly calling my name and wanting me and needing me, and never having any time to myself and just being totally fine with that. And if I wasn't fine with that, then I was failing at being a parent. And so I had these feelings that would come up. I'd get frustrated, I'd get overwhelmed, I'd get annoyed, and then I would just stuff them down. And you know where this is going, because I wasn't actually letting myself being a human being who had all of these real and normal feelings. I would stuff them down, and then blow up. And I would end up causing more harm than I would have if I just simply said, hey, I'm feeling overwhelmed right now. Mom just needs a break. Or, hey, let's all have quiet time in our rooms and we're just going to do our own thing. And let's just all take time for ourselves right now, because honestly, that's what I need right now. Or even saying something like, you know what? I can't do that for you because I need some time to myself in this moment. And really just like acknowledging what I needed and taking the space for that, and acknowledging that I was getting overwhelmed or frustrated or annoyed or feeling impatient. And then instead of trying to think I couldn't have those feelings or it was wrong or bad to have those feelings, really just paying attention to those feelings and asking myself what I needed in that moment. And so not only letting go of this thing or this idea that we have to be perfect and have it all together all the time and be perfectly human all the time, letting our feelings be information, letting our emotions, our reactions be something to look at and learn from. Something needs to be tended to. Maybe some need needs to be met, or something needs to be healed, something needs to be dealt with. Letting ourselves be messy, imperfect humans, and letting good enough be good enough. Another thing that we are going to let go of in 2025 is people pleasing. Did you know that over half of North Americans identify as people pleasers? Now, I'm not talking about being a kind or thoughtful or generous person. That's not what a people pleaser is. People pleasing is when we get stressed or anxious or are constantly overthinking who we think other people want us to be so that they will like, accept, and approve of us. But here's the thing. The more we try to be who we think other people want us to be, or try to get other people to like us, it usually results in us liking ourselves less. Think about it like this. It's hard for us to feel truly connected to someone when they're not being their honest, authentic self. It's also hard for us to really respect someone who is showing up like that. When someone isn't respecting their own needs and wants and preferences, when they aren't taking very good care of themselves, when they're not being honest or open or clear, it's hard for us to feel connected to them and to respect them. So then When we are showing up like that, it's hard for us to like and feel connected to and respect ourselves. Create space for yourself in your own life. What you want, think, need, or feel counts too. And also ask yourself this: is this yes to them a direct no to something important for me? Saying no to the things that take away from your well-being is saying yes to the things that add to it. I hope to see you in my Future Me Blueprint workshop that you can get all the information about and grab your spot for in the link in the description below. Let me know what connected with you. What are you ready to let go of in 2025? It is always good to have you here. And until next time, take good care of yourself. Take good care of those around you. Bye for now.